What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here. In today's video, I wanted to talk about player heights, which players have the best rating at every single height according to NBA 2K20. There's a lot of players that are tall in the NBA, some are short, some are really tall, and I want to see which players are the best. Before this video starts, if you're one of the 57% of viewers who watches these videos and is not subscribed, don't be lame, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and subscribe. So I'm starting with the shortest player in the NBA, who also is the highest rated player of that height, which is Isiah Thomas, who is now a free agent. Now, he was playing for the Wizards, was traded to the Clippers, and then he was cut by the Clippers, but he is 5'9". I'm taller than Isiah Thomas, and he's a 77 overall. I mean, Isiah Thomas was one of the best point guards in the NBA just a couple years ago. He was the only player in Celtics history, I don't know if y'all remember, to almost average 30 points a game, even more than Larry Bird and Bill Russell. He was seriously one of the best point guards in the NBA for sure, and if he never got injured, who knows what would have happened in that situation. But he's obviously not as good as he was, but he's still decent. He was cut technically by the Clippers, but he was averaging 12.2 points per game, 4 assists, not the great field goal percentage, but his 3-point field goal percentage wasn't bad either. Like, he was doing okay, and I think a team could still pick him up now, and he'd be fine, but we'll have to wait and see for that. But the shortest player in the NBA, who also is the best player in that height. Next up, at 5'10", it is JJ Barea for the Dallas Mavericks. JJ Barea is a 35-year-old player in the NBA who's a point guard who is a 77 overall. He has been a consistent dude who's been playing for the Mavericks for a long time. I mean, literally, he was playing for the Mavericks, then went to Minnesota, and then back with the Mavericks. He's played with the Mavericks almost his entire career. Averaging 8 points a game, but playing less minutes than usual. He was basically a consistent 10-point per game scorer before that. 4 assists on only 15 minutes a game. Like, he gets buckets. That's his game. He can get buckets, and he can also make very well. He is 5'10". I believe other guys like Tyler Ulis and guys like that were up for grabs in this position. But at the end of the day, JJ Barea at a 77 overall is the best 5'10" player in the league. Next up, at 5'11", is Jordan Mcclellan. Now, Jordan Mcclellan is a 74 overall, and yet he's the best 5'11" player in the NBA. It's crazy how the 3 best players under 6 feet are not all really high-rated players, because the NBA, you need to be pretty tall, usually. But still, 5'11" is not short at all, to be honest. Like, you can still be a good player and be that tall. 74 overall is important to the Timberwolves, and he's low-key been pretty good this season. He only averages 7.6 points per game on 4 assists on good field goal percentage, but these numbers aren't telling you everything. He has been having really big games for them this past year, and he's only a rookie. Like, he's only gonna get better at 23 years old. I think he's gonna get way better in time. And now a big jump to the tallest 6-foot player, and that's Cardiac Kemba Walker, who's an 87. I know it says 88 right there, but he's an 87 overall. Yeah, we know him to be a baller. Is for the most part, you almost always the best player on this team. This is the first time anyone's ever passed him, which is Jason Tatum, who has at the moment the same rating technically, but 6 foot tall and is a baller. Kemba Walker's literally an inch shorter than me, and he's just balling out in the NBA like crazy. But there's actually another player that's tied with him, and that's actually Chris Paul, who's also an 87 overall, also 6 foot tall, 34 years old, so much older than him, and just a killer point guard, like one of the best playmakers in the NBA with 7 assists a game, great field goal percentage, 17.7 points per game, and surprised everybody with the Thunder because they've been really solid because of CP3. It's crazy. Who's better? That's not my forte. But if I had to pick one or the other, I mean, when it comes to playmaking and winning, I'd pick Chris Paul. If I need buckets, I'm gonna get Kemba Walker. But both are really good at what they do, so it's kind of like pick your poison. At 6'1", it is Trey Young. He's a 90 overall at 6'1". Trey Young and I are the same height, and he's trillions of times better than basketball than me. That's an understatement. He comes from the same draft class as Luka, and even though Luka Doncic is crazy, Trey Young is also really good. And even though his Hawks team is struggling, I think in a couple years with John Collins, Clint Capella, and whatever draft pick they get this year, they're going to be better than people expect. And even Cam Reddish has been doing really good lately, so yeah. Next up is Damian Lillard, who is 6'2". Damian Lillard is a 94 overall in NBA 2K20. I believe at the moment, rating-wise, he is the best point guard in the NBA, besides another one who's hurt, but I believe actually he just came back. But still.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Alex Caruso.
It's Clefairy!
Rating-wise, he was the best point guard in the NBA for like a long time. and he's just a killer. He's one of the most clutch players in the NBA and super fun to watch. Logo Lillard is the best 6'2" guy in the NBA. But 6'3" is Curry, who's a 95 overall, 1 overall higher than Damian Lillard, and 1 inch taller than Damian Lillard. You know what that means? Yeah, YouTube, I seriously can't make that joke. Inches equal ratings confirmed right here in pack. No, but we already know Steph Curry, one of the greatest point guards not only in the NBA of probably all time, changed the NBA forever. A 95 overall sometimes could be considered a little too low for him. He is a killer, and we know that. 6'3", easy. At 6'4", it is Jamal Murray, the best 6'4" player in the NBA. Jamal Murray has been slowly a rising star and has been balling out more than usual lately, even though he's only averaging 19 a game right now with 5 assists, which is, by the way, not bad at all. The past recent games, 21 points, 18 points, 22 points. He's been scoring a lot more lately, 32, 26, 36, 31. He has been really, really good lately and is the second best team in the West right now with the Nuggets, and he has been the primary scorer of the team, really. At 6'5", it is James Harden, 97 overall. Nobody's even close to him when it comes to being that good at that height. James Harden is usually an MVP conversation, killing in the NBA. Even though he slowed down a little bit this season, he's still really, really good, and nothing's changing that. For the Pelicans, it's a tie. First, it's Zion Williamson, 6'6", 86 overall. Literally a rookie in the NBA, and in the past couple games, he has the record for most points per game scored in the first 19 games in his career since Michael Jordan. Yeah, that he's going crazy. And then DeMar DeRozan's also an 86 overall, 6'6" as well. His team is also struggling just like the Pelicans, but I think the Pelicans can make the playoffs more than I think the Spurs can. So yeah. Another tie for 6'7", that is Luka Doncic, 6'7" and 96 overall. Another player that was in the MVP conversation this season, and not only that, he's destroying the NBA, almost averaging a triple-double, I believe. The past couple games, 38 points, 36 points, 21 points when on almost a triple-double on almost every game, and then triple-double on this one. He's just a machine. And also Kawhi Leonard, same rating as Luka Doncic, 96 overall, 6'7". Both are killers. Kawhi Leonard's a way better defender and 2-time NBA champion. And staying on the Clippers for the next one, at 6'8", Paul George. He is a 91 overall, so a pretty big drop off from 6'7" and 6'8". He is a 90 overall, 6'8", and the best 6'8" player in the NBA. And he's missed a lot of games too, and it still doesn't matter. He's still the best 6'8" player in the league. For the Lakers at 6'9", it is LeBron James, one of the best players in the NBA, arguably the best player in the NBA. Even that, a lot of people are arguing that he should be MVP. He has the best record in the West right now with the Lakers, 97 overall. No debate here. And then staying with the Lakers for 6'10", it is Anthony Davis, 96 overall, 1 overall off LeBron James. And there's actually a tie, but I will mention him right now. Kevin Durant's also 6'10" in NBA 2K20. They have the same rating, but Kevin Durant's been injured all season, so it's Anthony Davis taking it for this season. At 6'11", it is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, he's he's ridiculous. He's basically MVP this season. He's averaging 30 points a game almost, 13.7 rebounds, 6 assists. These are video game numbers, and his 3-point field goal percentage isn't even that bad. He is ridiculous. For the Nuggets, it is 7-foot tall Nikola Yogesh, 91 overall, and easily the best player on this team, the second best team in the West. Nikola Yogesh somehow gets better every single season, and he's a winner. He really is. 91 overall, and you know, the NBA is considered to be a sport where the tallest players are usually the best players. I mean, it's changing now, but as 7 foot tall, he's considered the best. But then at 7'1", it is Rudy Gobert, who's a 7'1", 87 overall, tied with the best player on the Jazz, usually Defensive Player of the Year, and he could win it again this season too. Yeah, Rudy Gobert is just consistently good. He has a pretty good team in the West, and hopefully he can do something in the playoffs. Now at 7'2", it is Luke Cornett, just 1 inch taller than Rudy Gobert, and so much worse. He's a 75 overall. Now, Luke Cornett is not bad at all. The season, for the little amount of time he did play, he averaged 6 points, 2.3 rebounds on pretty decent field goal percentage in 15 minutes. So he did okay, but he's young and he's getting better. So give him time. And he's been for the Mavericks. It is obviously Kristaps Porzingis, 7'3", automatic player. He has been so good lately. 86 overall, the best 7'3" player in the NBA. Not only that, he's the only 7'3" player in the NBA. So you got to give him that. But still, 86 overall for being that tall is very, very good. And he's only getting better every game lately. And I hope that he can do something crazy in the playoffs with Luka. Staying on the Mavericks, 1 inch taller, 7'4" is Boban Marjanovic, 76 overall, the best 7'4" player in the NBA, and also the only 7'4" player in the NBA. 6 points a game, 4 rebounds, great efficiency, and that's what he does, is his ridiculous efficiency. And he's only playing 9 games. Have you ever seen his per 36? 24 points per game, 16 rebounds. Yeah, he's if he got real minutes, he could be deadly, but that's assuming he could play that much, right? He's 7'4", that's pretty tall. And finally, the tallest player in the NBA, you already know who this is. I mean, it's obvious. It's Taco Fall, who's currently in the G League, but he is on the Celtics, 7'5", 68 overall. He does not get any minutes right now, but when he does play, 3.2 points per game, he doesn't miss apparently, and 2 rebounds a game. His per 36 is 29 points per game on 16.5 rebounds. Yeah, three blocks. It'd be insane. But that's also assuming he could even play 36 minutes. He's a big dude. That's a lot of playing for him. But that is a list. Do you guys agree with 2K or disagree? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.